Hi, my name is Troy Anderson. I'm the owner of Anderson Training Systems, and today I'm going to share with you a two-part program. This is actually part one of it, of our burn inches and build strength programming. This is going to follow our real standard template we use here at Anderson Training Systems, which is a big iron burn method, which usually combines two strength movements along with a burn circuit or a kind of ancillary circuit at the end, which is going to have drills that are going to be supporting whoever the program's for, their specific goals, along with potentially some fat loss component to that burn circuit. So we're going to go ahead and start. The first drill in our big iron portion here is a barbell deadlift. We're going to go ahead conventional barbell deadlift. We've got this set up with relatively light weight. You're going to use a weight that's appropriate to you. First off, you're going to approach the bar. One problem many people start off when initially, and it kind of gets them going right from the start, is they start standing far away from the barbell. You want to stand as close to the barbell as possible. You actually want to be lightly touching your skin. And you're going to move your body away from it. You're not going to bend over the barbell. As far as grip's concerned, you can use a mixed grip, overhand, underhand, or double overhand. As the barbell gets heavier, or if you may be female and have a little bit of trouble with grip strength as the weights get heavier, a mixed grip is going to help significantly. If you feel real confident in your grip, you can go ahead and double overhand grip it. So that's being said, starting here, we're going to keep about a hip width stance, a lot of weight on our heels. All we're doing is pushing our hips away. We're going to have a nice vertical shin. Our hips are going to be behind us. Our trunk is going to be angled at about a 45-degree angle, and we're going to have a nice upper back posture. We don't want any rounding upper back. Is going to automatically denature our position. I'll show you when I get into the bottom position, and it's going to put us at a precarious situation for pulling. So here's what it's going to look like. I'm here nice and vertical, got my hips pretty high. We're just bending our knees just enough to let us get a good grip on it. We don't want to squat down to the bar per se, but we're just going to be bar close to us, hips back, and then I'm going to bend the knees just enough. For me, that's about right there. A lot of people want to squat deadlift, and what you should really do is here. You should feel like on the back side of your legs, you kind of feel like you pushed into your shorts a little bit, or whatever workout gear you have on, like you're going to blow it out. You should feel like you got a little bit of stretch or pre-stretch on those hamstrings, as if they're kind of rubber bands. They've been stretched out a little bit. That's going to really help you get up off the ground. From here, just going to be tall chest, good upper back tension, and up and in. Back down. Again, got myself set up. If you need to and you're not very experienced at it, if you can go ahead and release and reset every time, make sure you get a nice setup. A good setup is very key to getting good repetitions. So weight on my heels, good upper back, bars coming straight up. One thing though that'll kind of give you some indicators as far as things being a little bit out of the way is if that bar is drifting away from you when you're lifting. That means if the bar is drifting away from you, it means you didn't get a good setup and you started to lift off with your upper back or got your hips high into the air early. So an improper technique would be something like this. Let's see if I can do a bad one. See how the bar passes far out in front of my body. And I pretty much pop, what I call pop my hips up in the air early, and then I lifted with my back. Not a good situation. So you're going to be a lot weaker and your back's going to start to experience a lot of tension, and hopefully you won't ever kind of do that kind of repetition. So again, one last good one before we move on. Good position, got the hips loaded up, right into the body, and back down. So that's our barbell deadlift. Our next movement is our pull-up. So we're going to slide right over here to the pull-up rack. We got a high bar. Pull-up is an excellent exercise. The only problem is that many people do it wrong. Typically, a couple key points where we'll get a little bit of skew is people will start to dominate with their shoulders, or they'll start to kip and pull. Now, kipping pull-ups are something that's very popular out there right now. That's not the nature of this program. We're actually doing strict pull-ups. We're going to go into the double overhand grip. There's lots of other grips you can use, but this is one we're using for this program. About a shoulder width or a little bit wider grip. What you want to do is try to pull the bar apart as you're pulling your chest to the bar, or the bar to your chest, however you like to refer to it and use coaching cues. The really hard part here is that many times we can get to where the shoulders get really dominant in this, and we can start to get tension in the upper neck. I'm going to do a couple bad ones for you, and I'm going to show you a couple good ones. So, also, if you have a workout partner, if you from the side, especially towards the top end of range of motion, if you're doing, or you're getting very fatigued or doing poor repetitions, they'll be able to tell because your upper back will start to round and kind of pull forward as such because the shoulders have come into place so much. Again, one more poor one, and then we'll move into some better ones. As such, another kind of aspect that I found helps people a lot with any, not only pull-ups, but any kind of vertical pulling movement is to have a little bit of lean back into their movement. This will allow them to start to engage their back, which is the full intent of this movement, a little bit more effectively. So let's look at some decent ones here. Go ahead, I like to cross my legs behind me. I like to try to engage my lats, just like when we talked about the hamstrings on the deadlift. I like to try to engage my lats and feel like they're kind of stretched and a little bit ready to pull early. And I'm going to go up. You want to come, another trick many people do, especially as they get fatigued or if they're not quite strong enough for a full pull-up, is to shorten their descent. So it may look something like this, where they only come down to here, and they're doing these shorter partial range of motions. That's not what we're looking for in this program. We want to have a nice full range of motion. So again, a couple more good repetitions. Down. Now that's the pull-up. If you have difficulty or aren't quite strong enough but would like to be able to do pull-ups, one great way that we use at Anderson Training Systems to help out with this is to use some flex bands or resistance bands. We loop them over the bar. Make sure you got a nice solid bands that aren't damaged at all and are the appropriate resistance. Best to have a training partner help you out with this. Loop them over the bar, catch them securely, and use them as a little bit of assistance. So that's our pull-up, which is our second movement in the big arm portion of this program.